Between 9 and 12 months, babies are on the move, exploring their surroundings and becoming more independent. Your baby will be crawling, standing, and sometimes even walking. In this video, I'll share Montessori-inspired activities to help support their growth and development. These simple hands-on ideas can help your little ones explore, build concentration, and nurture your baby's natural curiosity. By the time your baby reaches 9 months, you'll start to notice some exciting developmental milestones unfolding. Along with crawling and pulling up to stand, your baby may begin cruising along furniture or even attempting their first steps. They're also developing fine motor skills like using a pincer grasp to pick up small objects and exploring how to transfer items from one hand to another. This is also a time when babies start to babble more intentionally and respond to their name and show interest in simple cause and effect activities like dropping toys to watch what happens. At this stage, it's all about allowing your baby to safely explore their environment at their own pace. Your baby is becoming more mobile and independent, which opens up a whole new world of exploration. If you haven't already done so, be sure your home is child-proof and ready for your baby to explore. You can get down on their level to see what they see and ask yourself, what does it look like crawling around? What kind of things are available to pull up on? Babies are built ready to explore the world around them, and our job is to facilitate a way to make sure they do this safely. A walker wagon is a great option for babies that want to cruise. A walker wagon has a handle that they can use to pull up on and then push the wagon around. The wagon that I've loved with all my babies is the Radio Flyer walker wagon because it is really sturdy and allows the babies to pull up on it. And the wagon also has a resist push feature, which prevents the wagon from moving too quickly while your little one is beginning to master their first steps. I recently also discovered this walker table, and I love that as well because it's lightweight and easy for your baby to push around. Note that neither of these options are a baby walker where the baby is placed inside of a saucer. Those put a lot of pressure on their hips and can put them into a position that they may not be ready for yet. Stacking and nesting toys are fantastic activities for babies around this age. These toys encourage exploration of size, order, and balance, all while strengthening your baby's fine motor skills and hand-eye coordination. Whether they're stacking rings onto a peg or nesting cups inside each other, babies are learning about spatial relationships and problem solving. These activities also support concentration and patience as your little one works to figure out how the pieces fit together. If your baby is having a hard time with the traditional stacking rings, I like to find a paper towel holder or a stacking stand that has a thin dowel and give the baby larger rings to place on that dowel. This gives them more wiggle room to learn the concept, and then once they've mastered these rings on a peg, you can move on to one of the more traditional thicker stacking toys. Posting is another wonderful activity. These activities involve placing objects like large coins or pegs into a slot or container, which helps babies develop fine motor skills, hand-eye coordination, and work on concentration. At this stage, babies love repetitive tasks, and posting activities provide just the right balance of challenge and engagement. Push and pull toys help develop gross motor skills, coordination, and balance as your little one learns to walk or crawl while pushing and pulling a toy along. They also encourage exploration as they can spark curiosity about the cause and effect. For instance, noticing how the toy moves differently depending on how they push it or pull it. Whether it's a wooden cart, a pull-along animal, or a car that they push around, these activities support your baby's growing independence and give them a fun way to practice their new physical abilities. Introducing simple musical instruments is a wonderful way to encourage exploration and spark creativity. Instruments like shakers, tambourines, and xylophones are perfect for this age because they're easy to handle and they produce immediate rewarding sounds. As your baby shakes, taps, or bangs on the instruments, they're not only developing their fine and gross motor skills, but also discovering cause and effect. Music play also supports auditory development and can help build rhythm and coordination. One of my favorite Montessori activities for babies at this age is introducing the object permanence box. This classic Montessori material is a fantastic way to support your baby's understanding that objects continue to exist even when they're out of sight. At this age, babies are naturally curious about cause and effect, and the object permanence box allows them to explore this concept hands-on. When your baby drops the ball in the hole and sees it reappear in the tray, it helps build focus, problem-solving skills, and hand-eye coordination. Once your baby masters this, you can introduce a more complicated box, like the one shown here that has a drawer to pull out. Or there are other ones that have slots for coins or other shapes that further the baby's fine motor skills, problem-solving, and concentration skills. In the 6 to 9 month video, I talked about introducing the egg and cup, which is a baby's first puzzle. Once your baby has mastered that, you can move on to more challenging puzzles. The peg and cup is a great transition puzzle as it requires your baby to learn to put the peg into a smaller hole. And once they've mastered that, you can move on to a simple round puzzle with a knobbed handle, and then you can even introduce different size round puzzles, where the baby now has to match up the correct sizes. As your baby works to figure out where the pieces fit, they are developing spatial awareness, fine motor skills, and working on concentration. Puzzles also encourage perseverance as they try, make mistakes, and then eventually succeed. Around 12 months is when I start to introduce other shape puzzles like squares or triangles. I find it best to introduce each shape at a time as they can master that one before moving on to the next shape. But if you cannot find individual shape puzzles, one that has some simple shapes like a triangle, square, and circle together would be a great option. A language basket is a simple, small collection of themed objects, like animals, fruits, or household items that are safe for your baby to explore. It is very similar to the treasure baskets that I referred to in the 6 to 9 month video, but we are going to focus on introducing more language around the items. As they handle each object, you can name it clearly and slowly, allowing them to connect the word with the item. This hands-on, sensory-rich experience supports language development, as well as their natural curiosity and ability to categorize objects. It's a simple yet powerful way to make language learning interactive and engaging. Speaking of language, introducing baby sign language to your 9 to 12 month old is a beautiful way to support their communication skills and reduce frustration as they start expressing themselves. At this age, babies are eager to communicate, but might not yet have the verbal skills to do so. Simple signs like more, eat, milk, or all done allow them to share their needs and feelings effectively. Teaching signs during everyday routines like mealtime or playtime make it easier for them to pick up. Over time, you'll see the joy and pride on their face as they start successfully using the signs to connect with you. Your baby's first year is such a magical time, filled with exploration, growth, and discovery. Remember, the goal is not to teach your baby in the traditional sense, but to create an environment where they can teach themselves through exploration and curiosity. Every small milestone, from grasping an object to taking their first step, is a cause for celebration. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you try any of these activities, let me know how it goes in the comments. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to see more Montessori-inspired tips and activities. See you in the next video.